more to say.
Yeah, let's bring this back.
What's up, guys? It's currently 5:30 in the morning, and I'm heading to my first ever APTA conference. Somehow I got to go for free, so I couldn't miss an opportunity like that. It's been a it's been a rough week. We have an exam coming up in 2 days, and clearly there hasn't been enough time to study. I was gonna do some today, but conference is lasting all day, so nonetheless, you got to make the best out of the opportunity you get. As a student, it's very important to go to those APTA conference just to network and to know a little bit about what's going on in the profession. There's going to be some talk about aquatic therapy, bowel dysfunction, recovering from an ACL surgery, pediatric therapy talks. It's going to be great. I have a good feeling about it. So I'm trying to get there early just to get breakfast. Clearly, Manny's not here to give me a ride, so I'll have to rely on public transportation. All right. All right. We'll see.
Like 12 o'clock, where you got traffic, you got a lot of traffic. I was actually.
Finally, I'm here. Just gonna check in and get something to eat and talk to some people.
So after grabbing my ID and some breakfast, I went and checked out the vendors table. So these guys not only help make the conference happen, but they also market their product during the event. For example, this company, they specialize in building handrails, ramp, and other assisted device aimed at the geriatric population. Since people are living longer with more chronic disease, they are sure to make a killing. It's funny, I asked him how business was. He looked at me and he just smiled. Oh, another interesting company. Haley, and they're here to promote their app. So if you ever go to a PT, oftentimes they give you exercise to do at home, and it's always on a piece of paper. The PT doesn't know if you do the exercise, and hey, listen, if you're any bit like me, you're gonna lose this paper. So the app is aiming at fixing all that. You basically get to see a video of the exercise instead of a picture. You have a schedule, you can rate your pain, the level of difficulty, and lastly, you can even submit it to the therapist. He can see your progress, and he can change things accordingly. Downside is, if you have a flip phone, you're missing out. Then it was time to head to the ballroom for the first talk. So the speaker for this talk placed a lot of emphasis on the human movement system. Why? Well, the main problem here is that we are still not valued as physical therapists. People still don't know what we do. What can we do to change that? If I understood correctly, there are two main strategies that are being put in place. The first one is to keep promoting the human movement system. For pre-PTs and other people that don't know, the human movement system is just like any other system you studied in your biology class in high school. It's just like the cardiopulmonary system. It's just like the endocrine system. So the idea is the more people that realize that the human movement is a system, the more legit the profession becomes. And secondly, if PT is a legit profession, then we as physical therapists need to have standardized method of practice. That means whether you have 30 years in a game or you're fresh out of school, everyone needs to practice using the same protocols. And that, of course, is another challenge in itself. So pre-PTs, get familiar with the patient-client management model because that's going to get drilled into you. So after the talk, we just sort of walked around and talked to some people. I took some pictures with my classmate, and then I went outside to check the poster boards. And of course, I had to go back to the vendor section because they had some pretty cool stuff. So this company is marketing a software that uses the sensor from the Xbox to analyze your movement. What you do is stand in front of the sensor, do 3 overhead squat, and you get a score. The score is based on your stability, your symmetry, and your overall range of motion during the task. I was talking to them and they told me, this could potentially replace the goniometer and even cut a lot of time into a physical therapist examination during, a PT visit. The problem is most patients that come to your clinic will not be weight bearing. So if these guys can find a way to make this thing, measure your range of motion in many different resting position. This could be good. This could be a killer. He got actually pretty competitive in there for a bit. I had the highest score until Manny. Yes, Manny showed up late to the conference, and the first thing he does is stealing my shine. So many presentations were happening at the same time. Within a block of time, you had the options to pick whichever presentation you wanted to attend. And because we didn't know anything about aquatic therapy, we decided to check it out. That presentation focused on harnessing the physical properties of water and how it is used in the rehabilitation process. Manny and I headed straight to the ballroom after that presentation for a luncheon with the APTA president. And yes, lunch was for free. The president talks some more about the value of the profession, and she sort of enlightened us a bit on just how hard it is to pass healthcare policies that will boost the profession. For example, PT was called upon in the fight against opioid as a safer and cheaper alternative method. Even though the policymakers knew the benefit of PT, those guys still wanted more data before they could draft any policies. It's ridiculous. Oh, and people did get awarded during the luncheon. It was great to see young people again recognized for their work in the profession. Absolutely amazing. After the luncheon, we went upstairs for the diet presentation. The speaker for that presentation discussed what PTs can do within their scope to help patient manage obesity and when to refer a patient to a dietitian for further intervention. Then we went downstairs for our last presentation of the day, the management of sports concussion. The speaker went all out in this. She went into detail about what concussion is, how it's affecting teen and adult athletes, and how to identify it. We spent the majority of the presentation actually on tests and measures. Equipments were passed around so we could do those tests on each other, and it was fun. I loved it. It was very interactive, and I definitely learned a lot more about concussion that day. Unfortunately, Manny and I, we had to leave early because we had other obligation, so we could not stay for the cocktail party. But hey, the day was a lot of fun. So if you're a student, you should definitely check out the next APTA conference in your state. You'll get a bigger picture of what we as physical therapists are trying to do in this profession. Remember to have fun, take lots of business cards because you never know what opportunity might open up for you. That's all I have to say today, guys. Enjoy your day, and I guess I'll see you in the next video.